Welcome to the Masterclass Series, Anticipatory, Cyber, and Digital Diplomacy 2.0. Date 03-04 August 2026. 4 African diplomats. Courtesy of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Nigeria. Compilation of video shorts. Copyright 2026. All rights reserved. Subscribe to build Africa's cyber and diplomatic resilience. YouTube at Anticipatory Cyber Digital Diplo.
Excellencies,
could you help me identify Josh? You mentioned Josh is somewhere in the room. Alright, anyways, and then the next questions are just a few recommendations, I suppose. I don't know what work is already going on, and that's what we're here to learn, but one of them is in UK-Nigeria collaboration. We've already discussed threats. So I don't know if there's already something in the works for sharing forensic attribution, because both speakers have mentioned that threat actors use Africa and other developing countries as testing grounds. So if these actors end up doing offensive actions elsewhere, it would help to have shared dossiers. Another one is having tech representatives or attachés between embassies and diplomatic missions, just like we have cultural attachés and such, so that this could be institutionalized. And the final one is a recommendation for Africa specifically. In addition,
Dr. Anibu, once again, an officer from the
Anticipatory, Cyber, and Digital Diplomacy.
On sovereignty, which is usually a challenge. The only thing I want to add is that I think that with emerging technologies, we are not going to shy away from these realities. And I think when we build policies, we should not develop policies as if we are dependent, but we should actually write policies in a way that creating data sovereignty or going into data.
My entire leadership of the ministry, it is my distinct honor to welcome you to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. International relations, diplomacy, supported by the British High Commission and powered by CS2 Consultancy Support Services. You will agree with me that the rapid evolution of a timely and purposeful team from awareness to activation, operationalizing AI, cyber, and digital statecraft for Nigeria's foreign policy. This theme captures the imperative of our moment, awareness of the transformative power of artificial intelligence,
let's say other powers. We have our undersea cables basically running through Europe, for instance, and so latency and internet connection on the continent is ironically slower than connecting to other major regions. So perhaps if we could have data centers or undersea cables more connected on the continent, would help improve connectivity between ourselves. Thank you.
speaker for this very important State for Foreign Affairs, and that will be followed by to invite the Honorable Minister of State for Foreign Affairs.
High Commissioners and members of diplomatic were there for me.
The units can do in the next 120 days. I want to talk about partnering with other sister agencies. Anyone is crucial to what we're talking about today, and my center is what we do in terms of intelligence sharing, strategic foresighting. So I want to advocate the center and encourage you to partner with agencies like ours to move, the goal of this unit forward. I mean, the NIIA and the Generally Available Early Warning Service Center is open to partner with the cyber units. We can work together in terms of a whole lot of threat detection and horizon scanning and all that. Thank you very much.
Pass through Nigeria before taking it out. So later this week, we will release our national digital cloud policy, which
publisher of Africa Today magazine. My question is to Professor. We have heard about the growing concern.
Borders, shaping security. So this question was put to me at dinner last night. That was, why does the UK care? And the answer to that is
program analyst and research fellow. Yeah, my question is in two parts. One to the UK-Nigerian relationship. I know UK and Nigeria have done a lot together in terms of digital diplomacy over the years.
We don't talk about the fact that Nigeria is actually a source of technology talent for countries like Germany, for the UK, for a lot of the European countries. And I think there's pre-COVID and now, Nigeria lost a significant portion of our technology talent in the UK. Because UK created it.
My question is more on the cyber diplomacy or digital diplomacy side than on the AI side. And it's a recommendation because as MFA, as diplomats, we're also representing our citizens wherever they may be in the world. That's why we have consular departments. So it's just a recommendation that as the MFA develops this AI unit, cyber unit, we think about an e-governance platform of sorts for diaspora citizens so that they can also contribute, we can get opinions from them and hopefully serve them better. Thank you.
To the professor and as well as my general. My name is Chido Ziode. I'm from the Ministry of Defense. I listened to my general. He talked about a lot of things, but what caught my attention was the retaining single dashboard for the minister. I happen to be in a very sensitive department, the Joint Services Department, that takes some serious policy decisions and make recommendations to the Honorable Minister. So my question is, how would you figure out using the very easily accessible AI tools online versus our homegrown AI tools? Because I see that as a major cyber threat. I'm afraid to type in some things on Grok AI. I'm afraid to ask some questions on ChatGPT. Why? Because of the sensitive nature. So how do we circumvent that? I overheard the MFA AI unit and so on and so forth. Yes, defense needs to have that, but how can we advise let me just tune it down to the Ministry of Defense, because of its critical function in the nation. Thank you.
know the ransomware groups, know the cyber-enabled fraud network.
Can AI make mistake? And if the answer is yes, what can we do to ensure that the information generated by AI is not misleading, especially in this era of digital diplomacy?
Nigerian Institute of International Affairs. I want to say thank you to our speakers. My question is to Mr. Samson Itudo, Chairperson AU Advisory Group on AI in Peace and Security. I'm happy you mentioned the use of drones by terrorist groups. We see that terrorist organizations in Africa, particularly West Africa, Sahel, have gone into the move to a higher dimension into the use of technology, AI drones, for surveillance and attacks. They use AI now to learn how to even create bombs. So what is the AU's position? We see that for us countries in, let me say, West Africa, we seem to be behind, while these terrorist activities seem to be ahead of us in terms of their engagement with the use of AI for all these things. What is the AU doing, particularly as your role, with your role as an advisory, AU advisory on AI and peace and security? What is the AU doing to engage African countries to be able to develop capacity, to be able to go beyond what these terrorist organizations are doing? Because it's very worrisome for us. I work in that space and I see that these terrorists are far ahead of us. We are behind them, and it's worrisome. Thank you very much.
The publication of the report was supported by the United Kingdom. The report So I wanted to start by bringing your attention to a report that is African Cyber Threat Assessment Reports 2020.
I'm the publisher of African City Magazine and Business Review Africa Magazine. My question is to Mr. Itudo. We have seen the gains, we have seen the positive side of AI, and of course, it also has the negative part of it. But my question is on capacity development for the youths. For instance, in Nigeria, we have a lot of youths who are, putting one or two together to be able to develop AI for their personal use. My question is, what is your advice to the Nigerian government in order to annex, the potentials, out there by youths who are working on, developing something? What advice do you have, for the government? And also, what is the AU doing to also support the youths? I'm not sure where the mic is. To support the youths in West Africa to be able to annex the potentials and also capacity development in the area of AI. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You can go back to your seats.
About laid sea cables that transmit this data, which is largely owned by the US and the UK. And I think that whatever anyone is doing, and you don't invest so much into undersea cables, that you don't own it. Even if maybe like it's claimed, like for instance, some platforms like WhatsApp that claim that information passed across is encrypted, to the FBI is bare. Even before the advent of AI, I mean, when you Google and ask, what does Google know about me? It's going to estimate your salary, whether you are married and all of that. So to me, data sovereignty without investing into undersea cables may just be only hypothetical. Thank you.
A defence partnership in June this year, which is moving beyond dialogue and towards practical cooperation.
Hosted by Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Nigeria. Facilitated by Consultancy Support Services, CS2, Limited. info@consultancys.com. Copyright at 2026. All rights reserved. Subscribe to build Africa's cyber and diplomatic resilience. YouTube at Anticipatory Cyber Digital Diplo.